Hey my Shuga Bears, welcome back to my channel, Bougie AF. It's your host, Nicole. It's where I say stay bougie on them. It's me feeding you feminism for the soul. It's my soul food offering. It's where I apply pressure to issues by being critical and logical. Now don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get to the commentary where I can guarantee you I will be doing too much because that's just me. And like Sheree said, who's gonna check me, boo? Welcome back to the Bougie AF channel. This is your girl, Nicole, where I say stay bougie on them, and I'm serving you feminism for the soul. Don't forget to check me out on them people's Instagram at BougieAF_ish. You can also check me out on the Twitter, my dear diary, where I go and tell all my secrets to the World Wide Web at I'm_bougie_AF. So listen, y'all know we're going to get into a little bit of an Instagram scroll. As you can see, I have everything up and ready to go. So before we get started, I do want to talk a little bit about Clubhouse. It's so trashy and it's like, you know, I feel like for me, everything's about what you get from it. And it's so funny when people try to tell you what you should be doing based off what they want and what they see for themselves. It's all really, really strange. But anyway, for me, it's a place I feel like I can go and observe and see the thoughts or hear the thoughts and opinions of people around social issues, and just to really see how niggas are, you know, interacting with each other and their, and their opinions and stuff. I'm 100% honest about like what is it that I'm doing. So I'm a little weirded out when people keep on thinking or I don't know. I'm weirded out like what people expect or why people are so bothered by me just sitting in the goo. What I do know on the people's YouTubes, like if you are in a room that people want to use in terms of recordings and stuff, that's already being done. There's YouTube channels, there's people monetizing and making money off of what you're saying in these rooms. So I'm not quite sure why anybody would be bothered by my presence or what I'm doing, because I'm not using clips, I'm not using your audio, I'm barely using your thoughts and opinions in terms of like, oh, this person says this type of stuff and then this happened. Like, I'm not even doing all that, right? So I think people out there are just pressed and bothered. If you do not understand, keep scrolling and keep it moving, right? That's just is what it is. If you don't appreciate my commentary or don't like it, that's fine. That's why YouTube have so many different types of commentary, different types of delivery. You have people who are doing like news and like, keeping up and exposing that they're really giving you every news story, everything that happens socially. Like there are people for that, right? Everybody designs their channel for everything differently. Me, I love talking about social issues, right? And I love infusing comedy and, roasting and all the other stuff in it. So that's what I'm doing on my channel. Do not tune into me if you're looking for some fucking Julie Chen, Barbara Walters type shit, because that's not what I'm serving up. Like, I'm 100% about that. I'm going to pull up some shit. I'm going to be able to back up what I say in terms of there being sources out there or it being opinion based on fact. And that's really important. I never lose sight of that. But that's what I'm doing. I'm here to show off my motherfucking talent. I'm not here to be your news. I'm not here to teach you anything. Like, I'm not here for any of that. If you pick up some jewels, I'll be extremely happy. I do think I do have an opinion that is different. I do have a view that is most definitely different within the Black community. Still feeling as though I am Black as fuck. And it just is what it is. And I want to bring you those different opinions, but don't hold me up to any weird ass expectations, because I'm not out here trying to meet them. I don't know you to be trying to meet any expectation you may have on me, or you trying to impose what you think is what should be said in society. We have too much of people thinking they can tell other people how they can live their life or what makes them happy, right? Or what they should be focusing on and what should matter to them. And it's just like, it just does not work that way, right? And I think sometimes people don't stay in their lane that type of way. There are some people who are interested in things that I'm just not interested in. And I think I shared this with you guys. I think I had this conversation with my mother, and she doesn't understand me always on my phone or in the chat rooms and listening to conversations and stuff. And I said to her, well, I don't understand you watching the TV with these screeching ass monkeys either, but who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, she be watching some shit. Like, animals and shit, and the pimple, the people watch, like, people having like unique medical situations, like they may have cysts growing out of their heads and stuff like that, and they have to get it removed, or they may have like an ingrown pimple and pimple popper shit. She watches that type shit. So what am I supposed to think about her, right? Like, that's weirdo shit to me, but each his own, right? Like I said, we're so busy with trying to slap labels on people and try to paint them and put them in boxes because we don't understand them. So I really try really hard not to do that. Now, I will tell y'all, I just had a situation where I was like working with somebody, and there was just times like, I didn't know, right? You don't know. And I don't really be going around like, fuck what you think when you listening to me on this shit. I really don't be going around just like, labeling people. Labeling people, to be on spectrums and slow or autism. Like, I don't really be, doing that. I don't do that in like real fucking life, right? I may bring y'all in like funny stories or situations and shit like that, but that's like in real fucking life. I really try not to do that because I hate labeling and I hate thinking that I know more about somebody than I really do, right? I think people trick themselves into thinking that they know about somebody more than they really do. But anyway, I'm working with this person. But there was just times I noticed, like, when I would ask him questions, he would give me this, like, blank, glared, y'all know that, them eyes I be telling y'all about. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you know what I'm talking about because you see it in certain people, too. But y'all know that wide-eyed, that wide-eyed crazy look. So he would be giving me like the wide-eyed, like, and you know what best way I can explain it? Like, it's like the face somebody makes when they're shocked by something, right? So it's always like the shock face with his eyes, right? So one day, like, I went to go ask him something, and he did it, and he like spaced out and didn't say anything. And then I was just like, are you okay? I said, because you just like literally like kind of spaced out and just like, he's like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm okay. And then, whatever. So, he said he was okay. And I think the other girl who I was working with, she said, oh, no, that's just him. We're all just used to it. Da, da, da. And I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't think nothing of it because, I know I wasn't tripping. I know I seen the glazed, I'm sorry, the crazed eye look. So I knew I wasn't tripping. But so when she said that, I was like, okay, people have their quirks. People are different. So you just, let it be just that. So that's how I took it. I wasn't even slapping no label on him. But listen, y'all, this is how you know that look is something, right? So I go sit down, because that's over. It was nothing, I go sit down, and then the bartender comes around, the bar, and comes to the table I was at. And she was like, oh, I just wanted to let you know because, you did say something. And I was shocked at first. I was like, damn, what'd I do already? And so she was like, you did say something about, I don't remember his name, to be completely honest. And it's really not about like me trying to put something out there about somebody. But so she's like, I think literally forgets his name. So let's give him something that's far from he could be his name. I'm gonna just say, I don't want to say that. I know somebody in that name too. Let's say his name was just something like Jaquan. Let's say Jaquan. She was like, well, and this is a white person too. So his name is sure as hell wouldn't be no Jaquan. All right, so she was like, I seen, when you, Jaquan kind of looked at you and you kind of, noticed it. She was like, I don't know if you know it, but he's on the autism. He's on the spectrum. I said, oh my God, thank you for telling me. Oh my God. I said, I didn't know. I said, I just, she was like, no, I understand. She was like, I just wanted you to know that's what that's about. And, don't take it personal. I was like, thank you so much for telling me, because y'all know I'm a big advocate for like, if something's off with your people or something, you should let the next person know so that they are quite aware of it so they can deal with these people in the right fashion, right? Because everybody want to go around talking about somebody doing something to the vulnerable community, disability community. And if I don't fucking know that you're vulnerable and disability, then like, what the fuck? And now ain't shit being done in personal. You do some personal shit to me, I do some personal shit to you. Like, I'm not taking into account some shit that I don't know the fuck about. Like, y'all are weird out here. So I really appreciated old girl telling me. I was like, thank you so much. And at the time I knew she was a teacher. I was like, you're such a teacher. She was like, yeah, I am in real life. I had already heard, like, through other conversations she had, that she was a teacher. But that was such somebody that you knew that was in charge of, like, people and understood how a teacher, most definitely, that's why their jobs are so hard, and hats off to them, like on a serious note, because they really do have to know what's going on a lot of times. And we're talking about classrooms that could get up to like a size of like 25 of the different type of personalities and what may be affecting somebody differently, or what they may be dealing with in like real life. So they have to be aware of all of this shit, and see how people, see how kids interact with each other, and making sure that someone who is actually vulnerable, who may have a disability, is not being bullied. And that becomes really hard. Like, again, these classrooms are really large. These teachers aren't perfect. They got kids of their own. But I just could tell someone who just was able to just be like, you know what, she needs to know. So that way she knows how to deal with this person. And like I said, I just think we should be doing that more in society. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it, because you gonna call foul, you gonna feel some sort of way if somebody do something to your baby, your special baby. Like, you gonna feel some sort of way. So just be honest about what the situations are. Oh, was that why? Did I want to talk about that today? Was that the reason? All right, but yeah, I'll leave it there. But yeah, I know I was talking about Clubhouse. Y'all got distracted a little bit. I was talking about Clubhouse, right? Oh, my intentions on what I'm doing on Clubhouse. So I never understand like why people get so bothered. Like, I'm talking shit like everybody else on Clubhouse in terms of like being in the chat, or if I hear some dumb shit, I'm saying it just like everybody else in the chat. So my behavior is usually on par, in is the same behavior that is happening in the environment. Each room is different. Each room, like, I'm not in every room talking my shit or talking shit to people, because that's not happening in every room. So you are supposed to conform to, like, where you're supposed to code switch in each different fucking room. I know a lot of people talk about people. I know one time, I know when I first got on like 2 years ago, a lot of the ADOS people did not take to me. They know that we have two different types of messages, and that's fine. I'm coming together for the reparations. Not all of the politics that they may believe in I don't align with, or their revisionary history, or their lack of knowing history. Does nobody have any time for that shit? Anyway, so I remember there was like, some of them was like, oh, people aren't the same in every room that they go in. They're different and stuff like that. And I felt no way about that, because again, I am someone who believes in code switching. I'm someone who thinks that these children should know more about that on outside and inside behavior, right? I think that will go a long way with the teachers, and them making sure that they go to school and be respectful, and that you can't talk or be the same way with everybody. Right, you're supposed to teach that. That's a thing, right? So code switching is just labeled, or it's been demonized, because it's something a lot of black people will say about people who want to be or have white proximity. They'll accuse them of code switching, but at the end of the day, it's in 2022. It's a tool, something that you're supposed to be doing. I think white people do it. Like, I think everybody across the board does it. So it's really weird. It's really weird to me when people have a problem with it. But so I guess they were accusing me of code switching. And it was like, sort of like, it's not code switching, because you Looney Tunes are so heavily, you Looney Tunes are overly offended by a difference of opinion. And you Looney Tunes find a way to be disrespected about every fucking thing. And this is literally why I think there's so much violence in our community. Part of the reason why I think there's so much violence in the black community, because everyone finds a reason to be overly disrespected. And so that means I gotta either crash out, or teach them a lesson, or I gotta do some violent shit to get my lick back, right? So, it's like, no, it's not that I think I'm different in other rooms, but it's me taking notice of like the behavior in these environments, and I have to adjust to that. So do I get to sometimes come up there and be my whole self and express myself without feeling like there's tension, or there's going to be this argumentiveness and angriness that's going to go back and forth if we have some words on stage, and that's going to lead to my whole life, and whether or not my mama loved me, if my daddy was around, or if my family and my sisters and brothers love me, or if I got a man, like, if it's going to lead to all of that on the if it's going to lead to all of that on the Clubhouse, fuck you niggas, right? And catch my words in another room with some balanced other motherfucking adults. And that's literally how I feel about it. So it can't lead to all of that. But I think because of my experience I recently just had with people, niggas from my city, is that like niggas will do something and then all of a sudden everything else is the conversation. Everything else is being brought up. And how was your relationship with your mama? And how was your relationship with people back in the day that you ain't seen 20 motherfucking years ago? We talking about everything except motherfuckers who need to take accountability for their bullshit. Now, whether or not my mother loved me or whether whether or not my father was there and all this other bullshit, whether or not I still got friends from over fucking 20 fucking years ago, that ain't got fucking a motherfucking thing to do with you and what we're talking about right now. I will never let a nigga move a goalpost on me like that. I don't care what the fuck I ain't, what the fuck I'm not in terms of where I want to be at in my career or where I want to be at success. That ain't the fucking topic. It ain't up for discussion. Fuck you talking about? Like, it's gonna go all those type of ways with me. But if you ain't from this community, if you don't know the bullshit, you don't know what we do and how we kind of turn things around and it just be about everything but what you're supposed to be talking about, then you don't know how to navigate that. But like I said, I most definitely do. Like, don't get it fucked up. I think a lot of times people think because, they see me, oh, you look like, I remember one time when nigga was like, people just didn't expect this from you. When you look at you, you look like a school teacher or some shit this motherfucker said. And his friend had disrespected me and they were not understanding why he was mad because they thought I was a sucker. You get what I'm saying? So you telling me that you thought because I look like a school teacher and all this other stuff that you thought you could try me. You thought you could make up some bullshit on me. You thought that you could do some shit to me and I would quietly just take it. You thought you had a goofy. You thought you had a bitch because at the time I weighed a little bit more than I weigh now. So you thought I was like some insecure bitch that give a fuck about being like or want to be at the popular table or the in crowd. That's what the fuck you thought? Also, you tried to dump everything on me. Oh, okay, I see this. Not that girl. Far from slow. I pretend to be slow. I don't even think I pretend to be slow, but I just know how. Just like it's just I don't. I'm not out here trying to correct everybody. So I think I've done well with just if I enjoy your company, I don't feel the need that I need to be your teacher or be your mother. So, agree with it or not, I just know what my experiences have been. And so a lot of times, like, I have been around and I've heard a lot of incorrect information, a lot of conversation that does not make sense, but it's also not my job to correct everybody and everything. And so sometimes that becomes that could become a problem because I don't want to be looked at as, oh, she thinks she know everything. So if that means that I don't correct and niggas think they know what they know, then that's what it will be. But I think it's just hard sometimes because a lot of times, I'm just talking about within my community, a lot of time, and this is not me thinking I'm better. A lot of times, 8 out of 10, I don't even care if they go to college. I'm probably more read and more knowledgeable overall about things. And so, like I said, it's just really hard because I don't want to be the geek all the time. I don't want to be the geek all the time. I can sometimes, no, I don't want to be the geek all the time. All right, so let's get into this Instagram scroll. So I do have some stories that I do have saved that I wanted to get into. Okay, so I wrote down what I wanted to talk about. We're going to go to a Tokyo Toni first. Y'all, if y'all don't know, Tokyo Toni is Blac Chyna's mother. Okay, and so you have to have a little bit of the backstory to understand what you about to see. And if you ain't, when we talk about when I talk about, not we, when I talk about things in terms of some of you women out there creating mini me's, not trying to, create situations where your children don't turn out like you in some ways. This is most definitely a fucking example of this shit where apples did not fall too far from the tree. So you have Tokyo Toni, who is Blac Chyna's mother. If you don't know, they from them people's DC. Tokyo Toni was that bitch back in the day in her city, was a very well-known stripper, made a lot of money doing her thing, blah, 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 blah. Then she had a daughter real young. It just so happened her daughter followed in her footsteps and became a stripper. Difference now, she hooked up with celebrities and the rest is what you know to Blac Chyna to be, right? Slept around in the industry and stuff like that, allegedly. All this shit is allegedly because, again, I don't mind saying allegedly. So you have Blac Chyna in the news lately because it was reported that she's making $20 million monthly on OnlyFans, which is another platform where people can go live and people pay for subscription to watch them. And there's a lot of hosts of different things that you're doing. I know that people watch people like foot fetishes. I know people is straight up porn. There's, you know what I mean? There is, people getting naked. There's people, like there's just a whole host of reasons and things that people are doing on the OnlyFans. I know people are trying to do shows and stuff like that. I haven't been over there. I did make an account, but I've never did anything on it. Because I was like, toes. I got some of the best toes around. I love my fucking toes, y'all. But anyway, so I was like, they making money off showing toes. Oh, for real? I'm gonna go get me some toe money. That's what I really thought. So anyway, so I know people are doing just a lot. It's probably like the untamed version of YouTube, basically, which I think there's just way too many rules and weird ass censoring that happens on YouTube. That's not consistent, right? And this is just a place that does not have that. So basically, it was reported she's making $20 monthly. And Tokyo Toni, wanted to address what people thought about that, and so she took to the YouTube and went on somebody's show. Now, this is where I say this is where it's hard to bring people up with you, right? Because I just never want my mother ever speaking on what's going on in my life to the camera. I don't want her to think we're both famous. Like all of this, because it's just like no. But here go Tokyo.
Talk about this shit that came out about your daughter making 20 million on OnlyFans a monthly.
Yeah, he can address that shit.
Yeah, please, because that sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
Let me tell you something. If a bitch made $20 million a month on Only Motherfucking Fans, and you got your mama still hustling on the corner, bitch, something's wrong. Part two, if you made $20 million and you got to turn in Rolls Royces and shit.
So, if you don't know, if you missed what she said if you are making $20 million a month and you still got your mama out here hustling and damn near prostituting on the corner. Yeah, this is somebody's mother. This is somebody's grandmother, y'all. This is really fucking embarrassing, right? And then, if I was making 20 million, and whether or not you felt the need to prostitute, basically she's saying like you ain't taking care of me, and I'm still out here. That's that talk. But okay, let's keep going. And then, okay, well, she cleared it up. That ain't true, right? She could have left it the fuck right there, right? Why not leave it right there? No, I gotta keep going because now I gotta throw out some more Blac Chyna's business, and how she's turning cars and shit in, which is an indicator that money ain't all what it is, and this shit don't make no sense because she's saying I seen some other shit that say that that's a lie. But here we go.
Don't make no sense.
Whoever gives these numbers, I don't know what they're into. I don't know. And what kills me is, and I was going to address Chyna with it because it's so annoying and irritating because I do get beef inside my DM when she do anything or they say anything about her naturally. Bitches come over to me mad and happy. I want to tell her, why don't you and that motherfucking lawyer go and say, that's not true? Mm-hmm. That's all I can say. I don't believe it because I got eyes and I was around for 3.5 months. I would notice if 20 asked me stuff that motherfucker.
That's 240 million in 1 year. 240 million.
Ain't that much sucker fucking no talking in the world.
Exactly.
But she haven't come up and said, no, I haven't. So, but in all actuality, get the fuck out of here. Says Tokyo Toni.
Don't talk about this shit that came out about your daughter.
My thing is, and this is why it's so hard to be friends or be in a company of women. And granted, this is a mother and daughter, and after a certain point in certain relationships with mother and daughters, it's just weird, right? Where a mother no longer sees herself as a mother, and kind of like, now, a rumor about me being a multimillionaire annoyed you? It bothered you to the point like you felt like you had it corrected because niggas thinking I was more than what you feel like so you were bothered by something that like I'm just confused by that train of thought, and I'm gonna continue to keep on bringing y'all different things that I hear that just sounds really fucking crazy. the room about the next bitch ain't gonna bother me because it ain't me. Like, I don't quite understand like why she would be so bothered to the point, oh, and she ain't correcting it. It sort of is like you don't want people to see your daughter in winning, like she's winning like that, because you feel like you would be, you would be getting more out of her, or she would be doing more for you if this is the case. Like, get away from me. If you're not happy with your life and you had somehow feel as if though I was supposed to do something for you to help better you in some type of fucking way, you better do it for your fucking self. That's everybody out here doing for themselves and trying to better their lives. You don't have the right to put that expectation on anybody, even your child. Y'all see this white girl saying that she glad that her mother died. What you think? That's not your children. Is not your like was not put here to take care of you. If that's, you know what I mean? Like, applying that pressure, especially if they don't have it, right? I'm talking about if they don't have it, most definitely. So she just seems like bitter, old, and just, it's just bitter, old, and need to get out the fucking way. That's how she sounds to me. And it's so funny. I did not read these comments, but we're gonna go and see what my co-hosts are saying in the comments. That sent me. She's like, it bothered me. Why you like what? Think whatever about the next bitch. How that gonna bother me? Like, that's weird. That's weird. Oh my god, I'm so thrown off by that. Woo, child thoughts. Somebody said this is found on the neighborhood talk. I mean, she's not obligated, but I would most definitely make sure my mom was straight. But her mom seemed real extra, so I don't know. Maybe she really did something to Chyna. If she that reluctant to take care of her, I hope they heal though. Exactly. Like, we don't know what's happening. We know multiple times that Tokyo Toni continues to embarrass her, put business out in the street. Like, you can't tell people how to be in relationships with people who keep on violating and disrespecting them, right? People have feelings. People want to feel like human beings out here. So, no, you can't just tell somebody, keep holding someone down that seems like they trying to poke a hole in your fucking, your boat while you're rowing ahead. No, it don't work like that. 1,480 likes. But Chyna's been up, like, in terms of getting a lot of money over the years. So I have always wondered why her mother has not been more straight, like, you know what I mean? Like, put up. But again, like we see with Keisha Cole and her family, you can only do so much. And if people are still reckless in these streets and not taking care of their business or not trying to find a way to make their own fucking bag and, make this shit pop, you can give somebody a little bit. They supposed to take that and flip that and make that pop. And if they're not doing that, what you mean? What else I'm supposed to be doing? Huh? I ain't got it. And Super just told you, sometimes you gotta tell people you ain't got it when you have it. Niggas will drag you under with them. It's crazy. Third dot error says she's still jealous of her daughter. Exactly. That's why I was so like, that sounds like, ooh, whew. She needs serious therapy. I can't imagine why she thinks it's okay to speak on her daughter the way she does. Bitch. She called her a bitch and all types of shit. Like, God, I pray my loved ones never speak on my name like this, especially in the press. I literally, like, this is, it's disturbing. It's disturbing. And I'll be 100%, and I have told my mother, if y'all call me tomorrow coming to Hollywood, you know who ain't coming? My mama. Because I got a Tokyo Toni mama. Talk way too much. Way too much. Not to the point gonna do all this swearing and stuff like that, but talk way too much. Get way too comfortable with new niggas way too soon. We'll start telling your whole family fucking business out here. So I know mine. So that's why nobody can tell me about mine. Like, God, I pray my loved ones never. Oh, I read that. Laugh out loud, let me shut up because she gave her hella clout to work off. So I don't know what she want. Exactly. Like, she gave you clout to work off. Like, what the fuck is you want? You didn't rub elbows with none of the people in the industry. So that way you can make some opportunities for yourself. Like, why are you not hosting your own show, your own podcast, be interviewing all the mama D's out here? I don't know. Mamas in the business unite. Do something. Do something. Because that's what it would be. Do something instead of running your mouth about me. That's how it would be. Act like a mother then, someone said. And this is why you can't even have somebody like close to your situations, and because they're going to have your business all in the street. No, you can't see. I would love to bring you with me. I would love for you to see these new things with me and experience this with me and all this stuff that's happening for me. But I can't. I can't even leave you alone with new people. That's why I'm not giving. That's why she not giving you none, even if she did have it. It's not her job to take care of you. Get out of your feelings and get in your bag. Facts. Now why is she spilling her baby tea like that? It's crazy. And it's so funny because I have a cousin. And to this day, when she talks about some of the things that she experienced as a child, she most definitely talks about, she most definitely talks about the guardian figure in her life, putting her business out in the street and how it has affected her to this day of like, she just remembers just like feeling like crap. So like when I say like that, it really does damage because you don't understand how somebody who's supposed to love you and be looking out for you could want to ruin how other people view you. Like it's really sick. And I think anybody who comes across any mother who's doing this to their child, you should look at that person like they're sick and there's something not well with them. And that's just period. Because I sure enough do. I'm going to think there's something not well with you. And I'm not talking about, you keeping it real about your child if they're bad or keeping it real about, the trouble they may get in or something like that. This is pure jealousy that happens between women. This cattiness, no, this is not normal at all. Maybe she was a good mother. She wouldn't be. Tokyo always gave me toxic mother vibes, and they wonder why their children don't be wanting nothing to do with them. She's not obligated to do shit just because you her mother. Tony's still trapping. Oh, people are so stupid. That's so funny. I have never seen this type of hatred for your own child. It's sad. It's sad. I have seen it before, so I know it exists. And it's really, really fucking sad. If you 50 and you still in the corner hustling, something wrong with you. Part 2 took me out. And these the kind of mothers y'all be like, just forgive her. Exactly. I love me some Toni. Someone says, why do so many parents as relatives feel entitled to their kids' riches? Like, I don't understand it either. Who need enemies with a mama like this? Exactly. Exactly. Like I said, me and my family have openly like discussed like what would like, and there's always this question online like if you hit for like $1 billion, like would you take care of your family and stuff like that? Or would you change your family's lives or what would you do for people? And I just feel like for me, I don't think nothing will change about my relationships. Like if you're in my life and I'm in community with you, I think you'll benefit. They will benefit from that. But if you're not, I don't see like you. What do you mean? Like my second, third cousin down the line? Like I'm confused. So like how far down we going? Because I got a really big family on both sides. But like I said, like if you've been around, yeah, the situations would change with you. I'll be able to help you out and stuff like that. But am I saying would I be able to change my whole entire family's life? No, I don't think that's unreasonable expectation. So yeah, nothing will change except for those who've been around who have helped out in any type of way. But that's it. But I'm not gonna think it's my responsibility to change people's lives. Now when it comes to my mother, she would be on a monthly situation. Some folks you can't give large amounts of money because you'll be continue to keep giving large amounts of money. Let's go. She said 3 much. What? She said, okay, I guess this person's trying to say it. She said so much and then gonna say, that's all I got to say. Tony, please go get your own bag, child. Exactly. I assume those fingers were reported. Those figures were reported in just otherwise. Blac Chyna is one of the most successful women in the nation and beyond. 1 minute Tokyo is cool with China, and the next minute she's coming at her for. See, that's that crazy shit. Whatever issues they have need to be addressed in therapy and not online. Honestly, if I'm Blac Chyna, I don't want to go to therapy. I'm gonna be complete. I don't want to go to therapy because you from this, and that's not to say Blac Chyna is not flawed and probably needs therapy on her own, but in combination of like, I need to go fix this problem and I need to go get therapy to deal with this. No, I can honestly say I don't think Blac Chyna needs to go get therapy to deal with Tokyo Toni, since Tokyo Toni is the one that continuously feels some sort of way, who's making it public. she's speaking on business that's not hers, she's the one who has the behavior. So I'm not gonna put that weight on Blac Chyna. I'm not. I'm not. If she's helping her and been doing right by her, I'm not putting that on her. Why does she need to go get therapy for somebody who clearly has issues? And granted, yeah, if she feels like, it would help and stuff like that. But I'm not going to sit up and say that there's been behavior on Blac Chyna's side that suggests, when it comes to her mother relationship, that she's the one that's the problem. Stop telling people who's not the problem to go get the fucking therapy. How about that? 1 Minute Tokyo is cool. I read that. Again, like, oh my, OMG. All right, so y'all see what the co-hosts have to say in the comments. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so Turk has recently been a guest on these people's drink champs, and I remember when Turk first got out, or maybe when he was like on Facebook a lot and going live, and this was like a couple years ago. And I remember, he was talking about, and I think he went on some type of television show, if I remember. But he was basically, or maybe I watched a mini little documentary. It was something I watched, and he outlined how hard it has been for him and his wife. I don't remember them like being married all that long or together for that long before he had went to jail. And there was just a lot of things that they had to grow with each other and stuff and learn about each other. But I literally thought he said he had given up the drinking. So when I see, or he was giving up something. So when I see him on Drink Champs and he's talking like this is a lot. I don't give a fuck what we did together. Can you look, if we grow apart and we just no longer hang out, that is not your business to be putting out in the street. Like, I'm confused. I am hella confused.
Me and Wayne caught crabs together. Oh shit. You feel me? And a lot of
I wasn't ready.
Nah, but listen. Alright, listen. Hear me out. Okay. See, a lot of people try to turn a nigga testimony to a messimony, right? That's what they try to do. But my thing is, that's a good one. Hey, I'm just saying. That's a good one. Nah, man, y'all gotta hear me out. Hear me out, bro.
Who did y'all catch, Alaskan or king crab?
Listen.
Snow crab.
Hear me out. See, they be like, bro, why you bringing that shit up? Because, bro, it's a lot of youth out there doing the shit that we was doing, so I got to tell them, bro, I understand what y'all going through, but check this out. It ain't just the AIDS out there, you know what I'm saying? You can catch this. Now they got the monkeypox and all this shit. I heard, they got all kinds of shit out there now, you feel me? So I was doing the interview, and I say something about it. They were like, man, you bringing that old stuff up. Nigga, this is my story.
Right.
The fuck? I just heard Baby and Wayne tell a story like Baby say Wayne say fuck on here. Man, Wayne was like, man, fuck all them niggas. I'm better than all of them. So if they could tell their story, I could tell mine. Me and Wayne caught crabs together. Oh shit. You feel me?
I agree with him. I totally agree with him. It's his story, and it is something that he's mentioning himself in that story. So it's not like he's out here telling Wayne's or trying to give you Wayne's biography in any type of way. From a limited view, because you can't, that's weird. But it's not like he's out there doing that. He's telling his stories, his experiences. And so I'm somebody, like I said, I'm not for censoring. I'm not for telling people what they can talk about. And that's that. But I'm just like, damn. You talking about like I'm doing it for the kids to learn and stuff like that. You could have told this story without mentioning Wayne's name though, and it still could teach the kids, right? So it's sort of like you trying to teach the kids about something. And it's just going to resonate more when you mention Lil Wayne, because like the lesson doesn't change with not mentioning Lil Wayne. So I'm confused. So, as much as this was funny, people try to tell you to say your testimony, turn your testimony into a messimony. Exactly. That's it. Super dope. It is messy because again, you could have still told that testimony, be like, "Yo, me and the niggas back in the day, we used to be out in the streets doing wild boys, fucking all types of females and blah 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 blah." And I caught the crabs. That's the story. That's the story. Like the Lil Wayne part is clout chasing, so it could be mentioned and picked up and shit like that. Like we gotta call a thing a thing. So. All right, so let's see what my co-hosts have to say. This is found on the Neighborhood Talk. Now, what if Wayne didn't want us to know that? Okay. Someone said, yo, why is this being divulged? Turk, really? No wonder they left you in the past. Oh, damn. Nori's so funny, someone said. Y'all be excited to be on these platforms and it shows. Facts. It facts. Why is he even happy to let the world know that? Somebody said Drink Champs is the red table talk for rappers, and that's absolutely correct. And it is most definitely absolutely correct. Men call us gossips, but go on these shows and answer questions that nobody asks. Exactly. I feel, and I've always said it, and I'm going to stand on it, men gossip more than women. Men gossip more than women. Women may gossip amongst each other, like your good Judy, your good girlfriend, and stuff like that, close people. But I find that men will gossip amongst a whole bunch of different people. Yeah, they will gossip like, yeah, they will gossip amongst a whole bunch of people. So, yeah. Um, that's wild. Then tell another man's business is crazy. Yeah, I agree. He said this years ago too. Like, hang it up, sir. Who brags about catching crabs? Sounds like he wants to do it again. This show is really be exposing people. It really do. Some shit you just don't say slime. Exactly. Why the close up pick up Weezy? Oh, this nigga need to let these dreads go. We get it, your story, but you ain't have to say his name. You really didn't. So that's where, excuse me, we ain't about to cease and desist. I mean, it's been out for years now. You can tell your story without name dropping. Exactly. I mean, I do that. I mean, I'll tell my story without name dropping. Even though I'm never gonna I don't owe those niggas that. And when I do decide, I'm just gonna do it. Because when you tell the truth, you don't really kind of lay awake, not worried about what you're saying. But I don't mention names and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I almost definitely mention situations, but I think everyone does that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. People write books and they mention situations. Maybe they don't mention a name, but it's just something that everyone does. So I don't know. You really can't tell people not to, tell their story the way they want to or how they want to tell it. That's HIPAA violation. Y'all do know HIPAA only is something that is like employees at health facilities and stuff like that are in the healthcare field. Like, that's only something that they have to abide by. That's not something like the public has to abide by. Like, I hear people say that a lot. So that's why, like, receiving information, like if you receive information from let's say somebody's an employee at a hospital, yes, their employer and the law will find it and can, they can be charged and get in trouble for that, but not necessarily you. Now you can get sued if it's, however you use it, but not for obtaining it. Wayne looking at his phone right now, like, now how did I get in it? Nene's voice. Oh, what is it about Drink Champs that makes these dudes go on and spill this tea like this? Most of the industry have some form of STD or STI, reckless life, reckless problems. It's not surprising. I totally agree because y'all know it's alleged that NBA young boy who's just recently announced that he's on his ninth kid, that he got them herp. So allegedly, so he got the gift that keeps on giving. All these women are having babies with him, unprotected. So I'm not quite sure what that means. I know his mama tried to say it's like herpes simplex 1 or some shit. Don't nobody really be going around talking about somebody got herpes off of a fucking cold sore. Like, that's not a real thing. Like, that's not real. Nobody does that. I've never heard anybody try to imply that. Just basically off of a cold sore. Now, if your ass continue to keep getting these cold sores, okay, because I remember the time they were talking about Cardi B when she was in them people stripping and she was, doing those live videos, that she continued to always get these cold sores allegedly on her lips. Now, if you keep getting it, that's something different. That's something different. We need to, but she's clean, she's good, so. But you start to ask the questions and they keep coming back. So I don't know if y'all know who 600 Breezy is.